Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome back to Aussieverse. I am OmniBeau, and I'm very happy to be here with you today on this great Friday. Now, we do like to upload every Friday and every Wednesday at the very least, so we didn't really have that much to go up this week, and this is a video that I have wanted to do for a very long time, but I just kept putting it off for different reasons. Vanders, how are you, man? Thank you very much for joining. Now, there is more channels than I like. There's quite a few, and we're just not going to have time. So I just need to apologize to anybody that may have their own YouTube channel that I'm not adding to this. I've got to be strict as well, because at the end of the day, these are my favorite YouTube channels. These aren't my favorite YouTube channels that I'm trying to promote and get more subs for or to help, because some of them are actually a couple of my mates. These are, yes, a couple of my mates, but I legitimately watch these guys heaps, like just so often. Some of them every day. I just remembered one more that I need to add here. And some, I'll go on, once a week or whatever, and just watch a few. You know what I mean? But the YouTube community can be quite tight, but it can also be a really negative place, which is why I wanted to do this positive video celebrating the good stuff that is out there, at least as far as my opinion goes. Vanders, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. That's my point. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, that'd be great, because then that means that you like the same stuff that I do. But I'm not doing it to try to get these people to do more subs. These are legitimately and simply my favorite YouTube channels that I watch so much throughout the week. So let's get started, shall we? We are sponsored by Comic Bookaroo, as always, a word from them soon. And we also want to give a massive shout outs to our 4Lifers. These are our paid members that get added to an Instagram chat, their own gifts, highlighted comments, and also join the shows sometimes. If you want to be one of those people, then click the link and join. If you don't want to pay $1 and you want to support Aussieverse, that's cool. The best way you can do that is just by subscribing to the channel. Enough of the plug-in. Let's get down to some loving. All right. I don't know if I think a lot of people are busy tonight because there's not many people here, so we're just going to go through it. The first channel that I want to talk about, and I'm not saying it's my favorite channel, it's just one of my favorite channels, as all of these are. I'm not doing these in any particular order. The first one is, ladies and gentlemen, Simple Simon. So you may have seen Simon on Aussieverse a couple of times. He did just appear on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire episode that we just did yesterday. And he's a really cool guy, really nice guy, really friendly guy. But apart from all that, the reason why I watch Simon is because he has his own, obviously his own channel, but he's pretty much a vlogger. So where Aussieverse will talk about the latest books or interview people and that sort of nature, Simple Simon likes to vlog going to Comic-Cons, going to all these different events and shows in Melbourne, and highlighting them to support the community and to show the world what Australia has. And he does them really, really well. And he does such good editing. I'm always complimenting him on his editing because, as you probably know, if you watch Aussieverse, we don't really do that much editing. We just go live, or we just record and we just upload. There is a small handful of videos we've done some editing with, but that's not really our forte. Editing is definitely Simon's forte. So he's got a partner in crime that is on the shows quite a lot, who owns his own comic book store as well. He's a very funny guy. Simon is very funny as well. But, there's just all sorts of hilarious. In the olden days, there was a few more show and tells and things like that. there's even some random things like you'll see on Aussieverse, like how many pies can I eat? How many custard pies can I eat? Anyway, he's a really cool guy, really funny, but it is mostly about these days him going to different events, different cons, different exhibitions, and showing those off. And he's really, really good at it, man. Really, really good at it. What else does he do? He does giveaways as well. If you're a member, even if you're not a member, there's some giveaways and so forth. So go check out Simple Simon. Next up on the list is the guy that helped us get to 1,000 subs, and that is OmniDog's Vault. So that would be this gentleman, the silver fox himself, OmniDog's Vault. Why doesn't he have a banner? What if I refresh? Is that my internet? There we go. I thought so. OmniDog's Vault, ladies and gentlemen. This is a gentleman that started YouTube about, I can't remember, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. And through his natural personality and kindness and great sense of humor, he has been rewarded with that with nearly 10,000 subs. It's obviously about comics, OmniDog. He has a lot of guests that show up and do a lot of talks, including myself and Aussieverse. But he's just a stand-up guy, man. Like, I know I'm not really selling him well, but when you join the OmniDog community, you really are part of a community. And I can say that about a couple of different channels here. In fact, there's a few things that I can probably say tonight that are going to be very repeated, like, oh, he's a nice guy, or he's got good content. And the simple truth is, I don't mean to be boring or to repeat myself, but it's because it's just true. There's a reason why these are my favorite channels. When you join OmniDog, he does a live stream for Australians. It's every second Sunday. He does live streams at like 3 a.m. as well. But he does one called Batter Days, which is obviously Saturday in America, and it has nothing to do with Batman. I think it might have started that way, but he basically has a different guest on every Sunday. Again, that's in Australia, and it's just such a delightful, entertaining show. It's almost like Seinfeld sometimes as well, because sometimes you're watching these live streams and they're talking about nothing, absolute nothing. It's absolute garbage, but it's entertaining. And that's what's really, really cool about it. And you start to get to know the community, and you start to get to know the people commenting in the chats as well. And you start to make friends. And, that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool. So he does reviews. He does, I think he's sponsored by a couple of people as well. So he gets, some books to be able to do reviews on, which is really cool. He also gives away a lot of stuff too. So, you might be able to get an omnibus or some hardcovers from him. And he will treat you like a friend, which is really cool, because when you have 10,000 subs, you can imagine how many people are, trying to be your friend. So to be friendly to everybody that messages you, I can imagine being a bit of a daunting task. So well done, Jess is his name. OmniDog's Vault. Evening, brother. KJB. I watch OmniDog's Vault as much as I possibly can. I just dig his vibe, man. I dig who he is. I do consider him a friend, and I think he's just an absolute legend. OmniDog's Vault is on the list. Next up, we have one that I think most people will know, and that is Chili Lovers Unite. This is First We Feast, baby. This is the one that's all about the chili. Yes, man. How many of us love this channel? I know there are a lot of us. He has 14.7 million subscribers. This is the guy that now has become so popular that pretty much whenever a new movie gets made, you bet your ass the actors are going to be on here eating hot wings and seeing if they can survive till the end whilst being interviewed. A really original concept when it first debuted, but Seriously, man, every single celebrity that you can possibly think of has been on this show and has tried the chili challenge. And some of them, a lot of them, absolutely die from eating these, and some of them don't. And it's really entertaining. Imagine sitting there on a show being asked all these questions, and you've got to sit there eating chili wings, and they get hotter and hotter and hotter. And oh man, I watch it and my mouth just waters. I can't wait to buy this chili pack that you can get, but it's like $300 to be shipped to Australia. So one day, but there you go. You know, if you want to be entertained by people burning themselves and you like celebrities being interviewed, go check out First We Feast. Next up on the list, we have Mad Spidey. Mad Spidey is another person that I am very fortunate enough to be able to call my friend. This guy is, like I've said about Simon and like I've said about Jess on the Dog's Vault, an absolute gentleman, very, very considerate person. Will go out of his way to give you a hand, at least online anyway. He's never actually done it physically, but I'm sure he would. But anyway, that's the personal touch. Why should you watch him? So Mad Spidey, as you can tell by the name, is a comic book fan who loves collecting the old comics. So he doesn't read new comics. He doesn't. So don't bother trying to talk to him about, you know, Doom now being Sorcerer Supreme or whatever else. He's an old school soul with an old school collection, and a collection, oh, does he have. Not only is it comics, but it is statues, baby, statues and statues and statues and DVDs and all sorts of stuff. So when you scroll through, you will see first off, Mad Spidey's Outback. This is a community chat that Spidey has every single Sunday here in Australia. And if you take a look at the time limits of how the length, you will see crazy amount of length that these videos go for. 8 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. It's just sometimes they go on all day, man. And all it is anybody's invited. Anybody can join in. That's how welcoming it is. All you got to do is click the link, or he will invite you, or something along those lines, and you can be on his show where you get to meet other like-minded individuals and talk about comics. Not just comics as well, but like I just said about OmniDog's Vault, the stuff we and they end up talking about sometimes, again, is absolute garbage, but it's entertaining, so it's great. There are times where these Mad Spidey's Outback happens and they never talk about comics. They're just talking about whatever. And it's really cool. It's really cool. Obviously, that's not maybe something that people who don't know these people or want to know about comics are really going to be into. But if you give it a watch and you start to know these familiar faces, you might have some favorites that come on every now and then, including yours truly. But if that's not what you're into, the other thing that I love watching with Mad Spidey is his statues. He has a playlist that is statue collection. And, I'm not going to play before I get done for not owning Spidey stuff. You've got his statues, right? Statue collection. So this guy has got statue after statue after statue after statue after statue. I mean, for crying out loud, there are 69 videos in the statue collection. That means he has at least 69 statues. Then he's got his giveaways as well, just like YouTubers like to do. He's also got his mystery boxes that he gets. He shows off his pops as well. He's got a huge collection in his shopping with Spidey. And yeah, it's just a great community, man. It's a really good community. He's very popular as well, and he has lots and lots of friends. So yeah, go check out Mad Spidey if you like to live vicariously through other people. Next up, we have one that I have spoken about with a few people in my life, and I'm very surprised that they don't know this channel because it's a very popular channel, and I'd imagine most comic book people would know this channel, but apparently that's not the case. So if you don't know this, then I'm going to educate you, and that is Emergency Awesome. For those that don't know Emergency Awesome, for a long time, I thought the guy worked for Marvel because of just how much information this guy spews out every day about Marvel movies. But that's not the case, because when you keep watching, you start to realize, no, this is, I mean, obviously he gets his information from somewhere, but it's all his own opinion. I watch this guy nearly pretty much every day, because as you scroll through, let's see here, he will talk about and go through every single detail of all the trailers that come out. And the information that you get from him is so educational. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't know that. And it's really, really cool, man. As you can see, the Superman trailer, the Ironheart trailer. Then there's other videos about the news that comes out throughout the weeks about Marvel. Like, for instance, this Deadpool one, it says, Deadpool, you've been fired by Marvel. And why? What's that about? If you click that, you will see that it's because Doogie Howser, what's that guy's name? Barney from How I Met Your Mother. He's going to be the voice of Deadpool in a Deadpool game, I think it is. So Ryan Reynolds made a video, like a 2-minute video, giving him shit, saying that he's been fired by Marvel. Now, I don't see those clips scrolling through Facebook or my other outlets of social media. So I'm really grateful for Emergency Awesome, because he shows me all these things that I wouldn't have known about that's actually happening. And it's really, really insightful. He's very, very smart with how he does it. And he's got real good production as well. Really, really cool. So it's not just Marvel, it's also DC. He does episode breakdowns as well for specific shows like Rick and Morty and Game of Thrones and all the Marvel shows and DC shows and Fallout and Star Wars. And it's just it's a really, really good channel, man. So I highly recommend that. JSS, thank you so much, man. Neil Patrick Harris, that's right. Good evening, Aussies. Good morning, America. Good Lispo, and always cool to promote your mates, pals, crews, YouTube family. Cheers. Have a great weekend. Thanks, man. All right, so yes, that's Simple Simon, Omnidog's Vault, First We Feast, Mad Spidey, Emergency Awesome, and now we go into the other one that I watch pretty much every day as well, and that is Near Mint Condition. So I know most people do know Near Mint Condition, but not everybody does. At 115,000 subscribers, this is a gentleman that I am also fortunate enough to call my friend. Omar is a guy that had a job. COVID hit. Things weren't working out. He had so much knowledge inside his head about comics. And don't quote me on my facts here, but he had a YouTube channel with a few mates, and they were doing some stuff, and whatnot happened. To cut a long story short, he was left with the channel, and he thought, you know what if I can do this myself? And, what if I could try to make it something? And he did. And not only did he do that, but he does it so well, and it's so professional that he ended up making it his full-time job. He was that good at it and that fortunate. He now, Marvel are constantly sending him all the breaking news on the books that are now being released, which for people that are into collected editions, which Near Mint Condition says they are the home of Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. This is a really great channel, because if you're not looking actively yourself, how do you know what omnibuses are coming out? How do you know when they're coming out? How do you know what covers are coming out? There are some websites, but the first way you can find out is by going to Near Mint Condition, because he gets the breaking news. Let's take a look at his playlists. Not only that, but he gets the biggest interviews as well. Maybe not every name that you can think of, but chances are, if there is a creator name that you want to see interviewed, they've been on Near Mint Condition at one point or another. So You've got he's got his reading orders as well. And the reading orders are just insane. They are so good because he goes through book by book on how it should be read. And it's, there are a few people like Crushing Crisis and Near Mint and James, and that just have all this knowledge in their heads. And I don't know how they retain it and just have it ready to go. And Omar is definitely one of those people. Oh, that's a shame. Clearly haven't seen OmniBeau from Aussieverse then, because this is the home for collected editions, mate. I wish it was, but unfortunately it's not. So he's got the reading orders, he's got the interviews, he's got the breaking news. He's really just got everything that you could possibly want when it comes to collected editions, man. He's got his hidden gems as well, where he shows you books that you might not be aware of that are just brilliant. He's also got his real plays where they talk about movies and anime and things like it's really, really cool, man. Not only that, but just like Mad Spidey, he also has and OmniDog's Vault, he has a community chat where every Saturday night in Australia at about 1 a.m., depending on when it's daylight savings, he will have a 2-hour live stream, which is the same as OmniDog's Vault, to the point where when you become a part of this community, you start to get to know people and make friends. And you start to feel like you're actually part of something. And it's a really, really positive thing. And it's fantastic, man. It really, really is, man. Hopefully one day my collection will rival the greatest. So yes, Near Mint Condition, go check them out if you're into collected editions. If you're not into collected editions and you are into your slabs, baby, you're all about those slabs, then you need to go check out Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. So again, this is a gentleman that I am fortunate enough to be able to label a friend. I met Rob through Mad Spidey's community. I'm pretty sure that's how I met him. And, when you join these channels and you're one of the squares on the screen and you only know one person or so, some people can get a bit nervous. Some people can get a bit self-conscious, is everybody going to be welcoming? Is everybody going to be cool? Am I going to ask a question that people are going to give me shit for? In my experience, none of that is the case. Generally, all of these ones, it's all very welcoming. Rob was one of the first people that made me feel like I was welcome. And I never forgot that, because it was just a very, very kind way that he approached me. And he's very, very knowledgeable as well. And not only that, but okay, so I'm saying that it's all about slabs, right? But as you can see in the banner, there's a thing called Comics Curing Cancer. If you're not aware of what Comics Curing Cancer is, this is an annual initiative that Rob and a few people got together and started this thing. And again, don't quote me on the facts as well. I could be wrong. But to cut a long story short, they basically decided that they would get all of these artists and people that have books to sell that would be donated to Rob and a couple of people, and they would sell them on their channels. And every single cent that is made is donated to the American Cancer Society. Yeah, I think that's the right name. Not only that, but every single cent that Rob makes from YouTube, whether it be his merchandise, whether it be his monetization, all of that goes to Comics Curing Cancer. So that's pretty amazing. Because of that, I became a member of his channel, because it was only like $3 a month or $4 a month. And I thought, I'm a member of Simple Simon's channel as well. There's really not many, how many, it's like streaming services, right? How many can you pay for? You just can't do it all, right? But because Rob donates all of his money, I feel like that's a really good choice. So what's his shows? So he has a show called Only Slabs, which is a play on something that you might recognize. And every week he has a live show, which is at about 4 or 5:30 a.m. on the Saturday night or Sunday morning for Australians, where he has a guest that comes on and they show off their slabs and they talk about their slabs and why they're cool to them, why they love those slabs, the importance of them, and things like that. On top of that, Rob is constantly giving books away for free. It's unbelievable how much comics Rob gives away. He is so generous and such a great human being that I highly recommend you go check out Rob's Fat Stacks of comics. Next up, we have Mr. Sunday Movies. I don't know how many people know this guy or two guys, but this is a channel that I watch often, and it is the funniest channel. I swear to God, it's just hilarious. It's two Aussies that have the most perfect banter, the most perfect relationship. It's just back and forth, and they work in sync so well. It's just the greatest tag team I've ever seen on YouTube. Now, what is it about? It's mainly about comics and movies. Like, for example, they do a caravan of garbage where they talk about a movie and was it crap? Now, that sounds like something that you can see anywhere on YouTube, but the way these guys do it is just incredible. It's just so good, man. Not only that, but they do breakdowns as well that are all funny. Easter eggs, again, that are all funny. But they also do quizzes as well, which is just hilarious, man. Let's see if we can see one here. They've got creative playlists. God, they've got a lot of them, actually. They've got their 16-bit scenes as well, which is hilarious. Yeah, look, you're just gonna have to check these guys out, man. Don't take my word for it. It is so funny, man. And just last week, I walked past one of them in the city, and I wanted to say something to him, and I didn't because I don't know, nerves or whatever. But yeah, man, if I could make Aussieverse like a channel, I would want to be like Mr. Sunday Movies, if I'm being brutally honest. OmniBeau, happy Friday from fair Seattle, WA, not America. Unrelated, what did you end up caring for in the most wanted DC Omnipol? Man, to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest DC guy, so I voted for the Elseworlds, the Aliens and Predators, some Supermans, one Green Lantern, and I feel like I'm forgetting one, but that's really it, dude. That's really it. Not as passionate as I am about DC as I am about Marvel. All right, moving on. Next one we have is people know that I'm into my wrestling, and I watch WrestleMania every single day without fail. I watch this channel because it has all the news about the wrestling every single day. And not only does it have the news, but it has other videos like, the 7 biggest lies Triple H has told in WWE, or 10 times shit got real in WWE, 10 times WWE killed kayfabe. It's just, it's a great channel. I find WrestleMania gives me everything that I need in a wrestling channel. I do not need any other wrestling channels apart from, let's just say, WWE or TNA or, the actual wrestling. When it comes to information, WrestleMania has it all, so I'd highly recommend that one. You can make time, Vanders. Just make the time. Moving on, the next one we have, I'm not going to lie to you, this channel is not going to be for everybody. Sometimes it's not even for me, but this is good old Whack Comics. We've got to talk about Whack Comics because Whack Comics was one of the first channels that I ever got introduced to when I started YouTubing. And like Simple Simon and Mad Spidey in the Australian community here, Whack Comics was very, very inviting and very, very friendly. And I was just very surprised at how nice the Australian community can be at times as well. Whack Comics is a channel that is incredibly, as the name suggests, whack. It is very, very strange, very, very weird, and I love it. There are, I'm assuming, a few people that might come across some of these videos about comics and go, "What the hell am I looking at? What the hell is with this guy? Why does he talk like that? Why does he act like that?" And when I met Lee in person one day, I couldn't believe what a great guy he was. I expected the exact duplicate on screen to be in person, and that wasn't the case. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he fakes a personality because, like myself, I'm not like this all day, every day, right? It's a bit it's you, but it's a bit amped up a little, and that's what I think Lee does on Whack Comics. He puts on a bit of this character, just a bit, but it's also himself. So what does he do? He talks about comics, but in the most unique ways possible. Not only does he talk about comics, but he has his whack hacks, which is something you need to check out yourself. I don't know how to describe that without ruining it for you, but let's just say if you want to see comic books burnt and in flames or hit with arrows or spray painted or chopped up or destroyed or made into things that you can't believe comics have been made into, then you need to check out Whack Comics. On top of that, he's got some music videos that are completely original and I am completely jealous of, because I would love to be able to do that stuff myself. He's also got the 10 whack questions, which are, oh my God, so hilarious. So hilarious. A different guest on every time, and he asks you the most weirdest questions. Man, this guy, like, I don't know how people like Lee exist. He's on another planet, man. He's on another planet. But as Chloe is saying, he's so nice. And I love the guy. He gets a bit slow sometimes on the uploading as of late because life happens. But Whack Comics will always be around. So go check it out because he's just fantastic, man. So funny. Next up, we have. Oh, one sec. I'm copying and pasting here, and I pressed the wrong button. Okay, here we go. Next up, we have, if you're into some music, we have Jonathan Young, baby. So there are many people on the YouTube that have their own channels now where they do their own covers of music. You can find a million of them. And look, Jonathan Young, there's like 2 or 3 that I listen to a lot that I love. But Jonathan Young, I'm not going to lie, I just think is my favorite. The way this guy does music and remakes music all in heavy metal is just insane. Not only that, but he does Disney. He does Disney and sea shanties and original music, which, I'm not lying, man. Some of that original music is just incredible. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. Prince of Egypt, but heavy metal. And he's just, he's so good. And if you watch him on TikTok and a few other things, you see that he's a really cool guy, man. So if you want to go check out some music but done in heavy metal, go check out Jonathan Young, because I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Next up, we're nearly done. Next up, we have good old Legion of Comics. So Legion of Comics is part of the Rob's Fat Stacks Mad Spidey crew. I met Mark through the community, and unlike Rob and OmniDog and Spidey and all that, I thought the guy didn't like me for a long time. It took me a while to realize that he had no issues with me whatsoever. He's just an absolute smartass. An absolute smartass that loves to give shit, and therefore he'd do well in Australia. Legion has a community hangout as well, just like the other channels that I've said. It is every Friday night. In fact, it's tonight. If you want to go check it out, I think it's at around 9:30 or 10:30 tonight for Australians. It has a revolving cast of characters, just like the other ones, with a lot of people that are on it every single week. I try to be on as much as I can, but there are just so many Friday nights these days where I'm just like, I just can't. I got to go to bed. I'm too tired. But apart from the community thing, Legion of Comics is also one of those people, I believe, that is the part of the Comics Curing Cancer as well. He also gives away books every single week, and he's a very knowledgeable guy too. He talks about all the latest news in comics, talks about the latest books that are coming out, does his some hauls and things. It sounds very typical of a channel, but it's very good, and he's a really cool guy, man. And go check it out, because if you want to get some latest news, you like the community hangouts, then Mark from Legion of Comics is definitely one to join. 4.7 thousand subscribers as well, 2.3 thousand videos. So he's definitely doing something right. Next up, I've only got about 4 or 5 left. Next up, we have the guy that, as soon as my partner Claudia, well, not as soon as, I don't want to put that on myself, but if she ever leaves me, the plan is to sell all my books, move to America, and then be a part of Cliff's life. Cliff on Comics. This is the gentleman that is truly one of the best people on the entire planet. He's absolutely heartwarming, absolutely fantastic guy. So passionate. And oh man, I'm talking passion coming out of every orifice. It is sometimes a bit of an M-rated show, so it's not for something for kids, but it's a very, very friendly, welcoming, and positive show. He also does shows with a group called the Council of Comics. I've never had the balls to say this to his face, but I'm going to say it now in hopes that he sees that. But dude, these Council of Comics thumbnails are so busy. It is so much information on them. It gives me a headache. Luckily, the shows are good though. And they talk about a different show each time. But he'll also have a guest on his show each week talking about comics. He also has different segments on his shows, like do you rate it or hate it? When it talks about certain comics. And it's just a really good, fun time. If you watch Cliff on Comics and you don't get a feeling of joy, or you don't laugh once or twice throughout the show, then I think you might need to take a good look in the mirror and go, I think there's something wrong with me. I'm guessing that's about Whack Comics. And yes, Cliff's roommate. Roommate, I was implying something a bit more serious. Sorry, Claudia. But yes, go check out Cliff on Comics. He hasn't been around too long, I don't think. But he's 1.23 thousand subs, 510 videos. So he's definitely doing something right. I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. He's such a happy guy. So yes, you want passion? That's all about Cliff on Comics. We have 3 left. So this next one is a guy that is an Australian comedian. This is Frenchie. I don't know why he's called Frenchie. I don't even know what this last name is because I've never heard him say it, but I just call him Frenchie. This guy is absolutely just like hilarious, man. Like, if Americans want to know what Australians can be like, at least a portion of Australians, then go check out Frenchie, because this guy, man, he is like the epitome of the Aussie bloke. Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad some people see like him. Don't get me wrong. There is sometimes he does something that I'm like, man, that's not really for me. But most of the time, I am laughing my ass off. So because he's a stand-up comedian, he's obviously got his stand-up bits and pieces. But on top of that, he has the funniest skits. With this lady is in them quite often. But the skits are just so funny. Plus, he's also got some music videos as well, which is hilarious. It's just, man, he is like, I'm almost afraid of Americans watching this guy and just going, what the hell is wrong with Australia? And the sad truth is that this is a lot of Australian humor. It's just, yeah, man, it is what it is. Would you recommend any of his specials or skits in particular? Are you talking about Whack or Frenchie? If it's Frenchie, I'd just go to the playlists and check out some of those. If it's Whack Comics, to dip your toes in the water, I would go check out 10 Whack Questions. I was on it once, and you'll see how weird it is. But yeah, you're just gonna have to scroll and check it out, man, because the things you'll see on Whack Comics and Frenchie, I am confident in saying you will not see anywhere else on YouTube. Bro, not even lying. I listen to one of his podcasts every night while I sleep. 10 Whack Questions. Got it. All right. The last two is this guy I only discovered recently. Again, you Americans, you want to know what some of our Aussies can be like, then you need to go check out Site Inspections Australia. This is a guy that sounds like so many of my friends that I grew up with. Your typical wog. Hey, what's going on, mate? Don't fuck with me, dude. Like, I'm doing a bad impression, but he sounds exactly like that, man. And this guy goes around to houses and shines a light on the fraudulent and crappy work that is done around Australia. And it is shocking. He's doing Australia a good service by exposing the lying crap work that is out there that do not meet compliance standards, don't meet standards at all. And the way that he does the videos is so professional as well. 170,000 subs. He literally just walks into houses being built, or people will contact him and say, I've just had my house being built and I feel like I'm being ripped off. I'm being told this and this from my builders. Are you okay? Can you pop over? And he goes, yeah, mate, I'll pop over. No worries, And he has a camera on his vest, and he dresses like he's like a cop or a security guard. And he's like, yo, bro, I'm here to check out your house, And he sounds like a guy that you think, okay, this guy's not going to know what he's talking about, but he knows every single line of the compliancy laws. And it is just absolutely amazing how he just demolishes all of these people, and these builders will be like, get off, man. What are you doing? Who are you? You're not allowed here. And he's like, mate, under section 4 of section this shouldn't be doing. And he just takes them to town, mate, takes them to school. And it is hilarious to watch, man. Absolutely hilarious. Especially, if you're building houses, or if you're a property owner or whatever, you need to watch this guy, man, because this guy will teach you some things. And it's just, it is so entertaining, man. Now we've gone for a lot longer than I wanted to. So, again, there are other channels that I really wanted to shout out, man. But I then realized I don't want it to be a shout out video. This is about my favorite channels. So the last one that I do watch quite frequently, nearly every day, is still only 35 cents. This is another, you call him an Australian. I mean, he lives here. He doesn't sound like he does, but he does. This is another guy that I am fortunate enough to call my friend. And he's such a considerate, such a such a beautiful human being where he will go out of his way to help you out and to just to help you, man. And he's done it to me, and he's done it for me, and it's so good, man. So that's the personal reason. That's not why you should be watching him. What do you care about that? You should be watching him because he goes through old keys and videos and unboxings and stuff. And this guy has such a collection, man. And like Simple Simon, he is so good at editing. His videos look so professional, which, you know, I would love it if Aussieverse could look like Simon or Dave from Still Only 35 Cents, because it does make the channels so much more attractive. But they do such a good job, man. And Dave will do tours of some shops. He does fly around the world a lot due to his job, which is great for us because he gets to go to cons like WonderCon this year and San Diego Comic-Con, and we get to live vicariously through him. He did a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. You know, it's just honk if you read X-Men, all new different X-Men mail call, comic posters that you've never seen before, hidden gems at Melbourne's best comic fairs. You know, it's really cool, man. And on top of that as well, he's also a bit of an artist, and he does some drawing stuff too. It's really, really cool, man. So yeah, go check out Still Only 35 Cents. So yeah, that has been all of my channels that I'm going to talk about today. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope it hasn't been too boring. I hope I have shown you some channels that you can go check out yourself, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about in this age where we have so much negativity and so much bullshit in the YouTube community, where people making negative content. There's just no need for it, so I don't want to engage in it, even though I have been guilty of doing it in the past. I do admit it. You know, I wanted to spread some positive love out there and highlight some channels that deserve attention. And every single one of these, in my opinion, do. So thank you very much. We do have the YouTube Awards, the CBCA Awards, that are happening this year again. Voting is now open, so maybe consider one of these channels for your voting needs. So yeah, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. We will catch you soon. And as always, Aussieverse is and always will be for life.